Hello, I'm really excited to share with you a brief run through of the new LMI digital program platform, the same learning and application tools and resources that we've been using for 60 years or more, continually refined and updated, but now presented in digital format. So here's a brief run through so you can see what you can expect from the new format. Getting started, welcome. Introduction, kickoff, and the lesson content is all on the left-hand side as you look at the menu for the program, as well as the tabs further down for things like resources, assignments, and making notes. We'll have a look at these shortly. And on the right-hand side is the content. So the learning text, as well as the audio, and then the application and action resources. So let's begin by looking at, for example, lesson 2 from our personal leadership program, which is titled Self-Knowledge, and you can see the various titles and headings that are included in that lesson. For example, emotional intelligence, developing a strong self-image, and authentic leadership. So as we begin lesson 2, the programs are assigned to our learners lesson by lesson, bite-sized learning, to be completed using multi-sensory learning and spaced repetition. So written and audio resources that our learners are encouraged to combine at least 6 times the written and the listening, the reading and the listening. And people find that the listening to it particularly convenient, so you don't have to be sit down and studying. You can be on the go, you can be doing something else, but still be able to listen, and that becomes a really valuable long-term resource. So as we begin lesson 2, we can read it through, and at the top and the bottom are these navigation buttons. So the top and bottom of each page, we can move on as we work through the lesson. All of this is mobile friendly, so you can do this on your smartphone and tablet, anywhere that you have a web browser. So this is the written material. The top left-hand corner here, this arrow will play the audio recording for the text that is on that page. So you can combine the reading and the listening at the same time, as well as separately, whichever works best for you. As you go through the text, you'll come to a short quiz, just a chance to review what you've been learning so far. We can take those, answer those questions. Yeah, we'll pass on those. And there we go. So there's a good chance to review what we've learned and then carry on with the rest of that lesson. There's another quiz there. And we get to the end of the lesson content, and we come to action steps, which can be downloaded. All of the resources then for applying that learning are downloaded as fillable PDFs. So come some questions and actions to reinforce what's been learned. And then those get uploaded into the system, having been saved on your own computer. And then they can be reviewed and commented on by your LMI facilitator. So the action steps, we've then got various plan of action resources. So here we have an emotional intelligence self-evaluation questionnaire. Again, a fillable PDF for learners to complete and then upload back into the system. And each lesson concludes with a participant's feedback sheet, which very specifically asks how many times did you read and listen? Did you engage with that multi-sensory learning and spaced repetition, which is really effective for embedding long-term learning? What was the most valuable idea from this lesson, and how have you applied it or will you apply it? Crucially, what have you done with that information? Again, this forms the feedback form, forms the basis for the coaching conversation between the learner and the LMI facilitator. What personal and business goals have you accomplished? And then a review of the other resources that were in that program. And then if we go on further, it says this is the end of that lesson. Next lesson is there. So we're not moving on to the next lesson until we've had the facilitation session with the LMI facilitator. Okay, what happens if, as you're going through, and you think that's a great idea, so let's go back to some of the lesson text. This bit about authentic leadership. Authentic is the first step towards leadership success. I'd like to make a note on that. So let's click the Notes tab and let's add this. Is a good idea. Authenticity is key to leadership success. That's great. Save that note, and that will be then easily findable in the notes for that lesson. So the notes are assigned per lesson. So if I look at that lesson, these are the notes that I made. Other things on the left-hand side, we've got this Resources tab, and there you can go direct to download the audio as an MP3 for the whole lesson. On the page, you can play the audio for that particular page within the lesson. Here you can download the whole audio track for that lesson as an MP3, as well as find the feedback forms. And we have a whole range of other plan of action resources. So if we go all the way down here in the personal leadership program, you'll see that we've got things like a personal values form, wheel of life, various goal planning and tracking resources that are there. And then a click here brings up the specific assignments for each lesson. So you'll see the emotional intelligence self-evaluation was one of the assignments we just looked at for lesson 2. Okay, so on the left-hand side, easy to navigate all of the menu options, and on the right-hand side, that's where you'll find the content, written content, and then the application and action tools and resources. We can make notes on it, all of which you'll be guided through by the LMI facilitator. So the learning coupled with the coaching conversations with your LMI facilitator makes this the same powerful combination of long-term application and results that we've been helping organizations across the world achieve for 60 years now available in fully mobile-friendly digital format. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to share this with you, and we look forward to work with you soon.
Your success is our ultimate goal.